where we add a Doom token, 4 of 7, and then we draw a card. So how much worse could it get? Oh, a ghoul minion is going to come on us as well. Now we got 2 guys. Oh, shoot. Alright. So he's 2 across the board. Humanoid monster ghoul. It was a colossal and nameless blasphemy that glaring red eyes, and it held in bony claws a thing that had been man gnawing at the head as a child nibbles at a stick of candy. Lovecraft, Pikmin's model. And there is our ghoul minion. He only does 1 damage each to us, but we have basically 2 guys on us now. Right off the bat. We haven't had an enemy, and now we got 2. And one of them's the big guy. Oh boy. Alright, so it is our turn now. So, we could go after Lita and try to get her to help us, which would be useful. The problem is we don't have to go after Lita. We could just kill the ghoul priest, hopefully, and win. Like, we don't have to get her. And being that we have to pass an intellect check of 4 to parlor with her, and we have an intellect of 2, or we have an intellect of 3, but we have no way at the moment to help with that. We have a lot more combat help than intellect help. I think we're going to just fight out with this ghoul priest. So if enemies are engaged with you and you do anything besides attack or evade, or fight, I guess is what's called, or evade an enemy engage with you, they will attack back on an attack of opportunity. So if we try to move, if we try to find a clue, if we play a card, gain a resource, draw a card, they're going to hit us. So we don't want, obviously, that to happen. So either we fight them or evade. Now, evading is very useful, and evading is actually a main thing for many characters who have good agility. He actually has very good agility. So this ghoul minion, for example, we could try to evade him. And if we pass, that means he will exhaust, and he will go back to the location. So right now he's engaged with me. He'll exhaust, and he'll go back to the location that I'm at, kind of not engaged with me, basically. I give him the slip for a moment. And since he's exhausted, that means when the enemy phase comes up, he won't be able to do anything. He doesn't act. He basically gets skipped. And in the upkeep phase, he'll ready again, and then he'll continue on doing whatever it is he does. The other thing is he is not a hunter, so if we exhaust him and then we move away from this location, he won't chase us. They only chase you if they're a hunter. He'll stay here, and if we come back to the hallway, then we'll have to worry about him, but he won't come after us. Now, the ghoul priest is a hunter, so regardless if what we do to him, he's gonna come back. He's gonna chase us down. But even though we have 2 guys engaged here, we can attack one of them, and since it's a fight action, the other one doesn't do anything. So we might go all out on this ghoul priest, at least for this first action. If we get a card that helps us with our intellect check to get Lita, I might try to get her. But like I said, it's not necessary to get her. But the only thing that's really necessary is to kill this ghoul priest. So I think we're going to attempt to do that. We only need 5 damage on him, which isn't that much. We have our Derringer, and we have some other... We have Overpower, Vicious Blow. Alright, so if we think this through, if we shoot him with our Derringer, we get +2 to our attack. If we succeed by 2 or more, we get +1 damage. So if we do a really good draw, let's go on the high side. That would be 2 damage out of 5 right away. 1 for hitting them, and then +1 for 2 or more. If we used our Vicious Blow, we would do another damage, so 3 damage out of 5 right away. And that would also give us a chance to get that +2 higher. And we could also overpower him to draw a card with another 2, so that would give us 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on a 4, which is a little bit overkill. We might want to save Overpower for a different attack. We also have Manual Dexterity to help evade creatures too, so yeah, we're pretty good here. And the dog, if they hit the dog, they'll actually... he could absorb the damage, and he'll attack back. Alright, so we're going to attack the ghoul priest. We're going to use a bullet, 1 ammo from our 41 Derringer, and that gives us +2 combat for this attack. So we have a 3 combat, so 5 on a 4, And then we're going to go with... so we do 6? Should we do 7 out of 4? Should we overpower this first one? Oh, now's the question. Which one do I use? If we use overpower, we have 3. -3 or better is good. If we use vicious blow, -2 or better is good. But this one gives us an extra damage right away, but this one lets us hit them and get a card. Let's go with vicious blow. We could do both, but I don't think I want to do both at the same time here. So we're going to use vicious blow. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 4. So that's what we're going to go with. And +1 damage at least. We could throw in physical training. I don't think we're going to be using that. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. We're not going to play this. I think it's a little too late for this card. Even though I like it, I'm going to add another one. So that is now 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 4. So -3 or better. All right. There is a -4 in here, and there is the nasty tentacle. That's instant fail. So, but there's 16 tokens in here. Chances are we're okay. -2. All right, that's good. So let's figure this out again, because it matters. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we get a 5. Oh, that's not enough. 5 out of 4. Oh. So we're going to beat them by 1, which means we don't get that extra damage from our Derringer. But, so we hit him for 1, 2 for our vicious blow. So 2 damage. Not quite what I was hoping for. I'm hoping to get extra damage at him for 3. Alright, so sorry about that. I had a cut off for a second. So we just did 2 damage to the Ghoul Priest in the end there. Wish we had 3. Could have potentially gotten 3 damage on him, but only got 2, so he's 2 of 5, which is okay. But that was only our first action. And we're not feared or anything, so it only cost 1 action to do it. So we're going to go on again. We're going to fire again with our 41 to give us +2 fight. We're going to use overpower this time to give us +2 to our attack. And we are going to attempt to hit him. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 4. We don't have the... actually, and if we go by 2 or more, because that's the gun, we still get another damage. So that's good. So 7 out of 4. And we get a... Ooh, we get a cultist. What is the cultist? -1. If you fail, take 1 horror. So -1. So that's a 6 out of 4. Alright, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 6 out of 4 is a hit. So that's 1 damage, which puts 3 damage on the Ghoul Priest. And we succeed by 2 or more with our bolt gun. That's additional damage. So he's got 4 of 5 on him. And because we succeeded using overpower, we draw a card. And we get a 41 automatic. Huh, a little late. So what's the difference between the 41 and the Derringer? It's more expensive. It's 4 ammo instead of 3. And you will get +1 to the attack, or you get +2 with the Derringer. But you always get +1 damage with the 45 and the Derringer. You only get it if you succeed by 2 or more. I kind of like the +2 almost. Well, I'm sure. I mean, gun's a gun. So we have that. Manual dexterity to evade if needed. Beat cop. Problem now is, what do we do? Oh, you know what? We are good, actually, because if one, yeah, we're good because he's gonna attack us. We're gonna have him attack the guard dog. The guard dog, when enemy deals damage to the guard dog, deal 1 damage to the enemy. He's gonna finish him off for us. So we got this. We actually got this. Nice. All right. So we drew a card. That was 2 actions. Our third action. Not that there's any reason to do anything. I guess just in case. No, because we don't want to... You know, we're going to evade. we're going to evade the ghoul minion for our third action, so he doesn't attack us as well. It's the right thing. We have an action to do. If we do anything but evade or attack, they're both going to attack us now, which is fine, technically. But just in case, I'm going to try to evade them. So that's a 3. We're going to evade with our 4 agility plus 2, so that's a 6 going up against a 2. So 4 better, and we get to evade the ghoul minion. So that's fine. We get 0, so we evade him easily. So by evading him, he exhausts and goes back to our location. So he's not actually engaged with us anymore. He is in the hallway. And there's our third action. But because we successfully evaded, we draw a card by using that. And we get a switchblade. Fast, so it doesn't cost an action to play this. If you succeed by 2 or more, this attack deals 1 damage. Nice, okay. Alright, so we evade him. He goes away, we don't have to worry about him hitting us. And we are done. We don't have enough resources, even if we wanted to do another action, but we don't want to, so we are done. Skids flips over. We move on to the enemy phase. Enemies with the hunter keyword move toward the nearest investigator. He's already on us. He's exhausted. Each engaged enemy attacks if able, so he will attack us for 2 damage and 2 horror. 2 health, I'm not sure how they call it. 2 health, 2 horror. But we're going to put both of those healths on our guard dog. And I think we could technically put 1 horror on him and then 1 on us. Because even though he'll get hit for that horror, he'll die, but this trigger will still happen. And even if it's not right, if I'm not right about that, we have to put both of them on us. We're still okay. We have 5 of 6. But I'm just going to put it on him because I think that's going to work out anyway. So as he gets damaged by the ghoul priest, he will deal 1 damage back to the attacking enemy. And that is 5 damage on the ghoul priest, which will take him out. And the ghoul priest is defeated. And he is worth 2 victory points. Put him off to the side in our victory point pile. Butch here takes 1 for the team. Sanity-wise, so he goes a little cuckoo. And he goes back into our discard pile. But he was the one who actually did the final. As I was shooting away at this ghoul priest, Butch came around from the back. The ghoul priest sees him at the last second, swipes at him, wounds him, but he gets 1 big bite off on him, and he takes a chunk out of the ghoul priest, and it's enough as he falls down to his death. Yes, and we are done. We defeat the ghoul priest. So, if the ghoul priest is defeated, advance. Doesn't say win, just do it. Defending the home. When the robed creature falls, the fiendish swarm burrows back into the ground, and the chaos of the house quiets. But the stranger in your parlor doesn't seem relieved. You broke my seal, and that was set to trap the ghouls within. She raises her torch. Now we must take more direct measures and burn this hell pit to the ground. The lead investigator must decide. It was never much of a home, burn it down. Or, this hell pit is my home, no way we are burning it. Ooh, so those are our options. So she wants us to burn the hell pit to the ground, or to not burn the hell pit to the ground. Ooh, that's a tough one. It is our home, but I don't know. It's been a little messed up. I say we burn it and down to the ground. Let's do that. So we move into our book here for the gathering, and so if we burn it to the ground, we will go to Revelation 1. Let's burn it. So if no revolution was reached, so if say you resigned, then you would do what this is. Resolution 1. You nod and allow the red-haired woman to set the walls and floor of your house ablaze. The fire spreads quickly, and you run out the front door to avoid being caught in the inferno. From the sidewalk, you watch as everything you own is consumed by the flames. Come with me, the woman says. You must be told of that threat that lurks below. Alone, we are surely doomed, but together, we can stop it. In your campaign log recorded, your house has been burned to the ground. Okay? So on the back, you make copies of this, of course. you would put that under campaign notes, house burned to the ground. Okay. The lead investigator earns the Lita Chandler card and may include it in his or her deck. This card does not count toward your deck size, so that is awesome. So because we agreed with Lita, burnt our house down to rid it of the evil, she is willing to come with us, the Zealot. That is fantastic. So we get her in our deck, so we could draw her during the rest of the campaign, potentially. And it does not count toward our deck size. So your deck size is 30. You always get 3 extra cards, each character does, that goes into there that does not count toward the maximum. So for Skids, for example, he gets 30 cards, but you always put on the lam, hospital debts, and 1 random basic weakness in. That does not count towards the 30. So you pretty much have 33 cards. So now we're going to have 34 cards if we add Lita, and she doesn't go to the max just like those other 3. So we will most likely add her because she has some awesome abilities here that are very useful if we ever get her out. +1 attack, combat, or location, +1 damage. Being that we're by ourselves, we can use an ally. Alright, and then the lead investigator suffers 1 mental trauma from watching his or her home become a smoldering ruin. Oh, that sucks. So that means that we will start the rest of the scenarios with 1 horror mental trauma. So basically, our next scenario, we start like this, without anything happening. Sorry about that. We start with a horror on our card right off the bat, because we watched our house and everything we owned burn down. So that kind of blows. But what are you going to do? We also got Lita, so. Each investigator earns experience equal to the victory value of each card in the victory display. Remember to add eligible locations. Each investigator earns 2 bonus experience as he or she gains insight into the hidden world of the mythos. Alright, so we get 2 bonus, plus we get 2 for the Ghoul Priest, plus we get 1 for each of these locations that we successfully investigated completely. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 XP, but we did not get rid of our hospital debts, which makes us get 2 fewer XP. So instead of 6, we get 4, which really sucks. But what are you gonna do? We had to take that ghoul out before he had a chance to start smacking us around. Because that dude, he does 2 damage, 2 health, and 2 horror every round when he hits you. And I was already at 3, I think, horror for the game. So if he would have hit me twice, if I kind of messed around and tried to go get her or something, he came in and smacked me around, I could have easily went insane and lost. So, or at least gotten through a resolution that would most likely be worse than what I have gotten. So that's okay. So we got 4 XP. So let me set this up and I'll show you how you level up so we're ready for our next one. Alright, so because of our hospital debts, we only have 4 experience and not 6 to spend. Which blows, but what are we going to do? So, the way you spend experience in this game is that you buy new cards. Now, Skids, he is a rogue level 0 to 5, which means he can get any rogue card in the deck. Now, if you look at the top left of these cards, all the ones that we were using earlier have no pips up here, basically. You see there's 5 possible little dots up for each one of these cards. Not for more of them, not for that one, but whatever. So 5. Those basically represent levels. So all these cards are like level 0. But if you want to buy a new one at the end of the round, you still have to spend 1 experience point to even get a level 0 card. But they're technically considered like 0. So, for example, Leo DeLuca here, who is a guy that we actually have in our deck, but he never popped out. This is an upgraded version of him, which costs 1 XP. Cat Burglar costs 1 XP. Sure Gamble costs 3. And Hot Streak costs 4, which is awesome. 10 resources. 4 XP. So now Skids could use rogue cards from 0 to level 5. So he can get any one of these cards added to his deck. And any future cards that are brought out in the game, of course, for Rogue. Now, as a Guardian, he's basically a Rogue with a little bit of Guardian. He can only go up to level 2 Guardian. So he can acquire extra ammunition, which would be very useful, actually. He can get Police Badge, which is level 2. He can also get an upgraded Beat Cop at level 2. He cannot get a shotgun at level 4 because he can only go to level 2 card. So he can never get this shotgun. And the shotgun is pretty awesome, but he can never get it. So I'm not even worried about that. And he can acquire any amount level 0 to 5 of neutral cards. And those are, we've seen a lot of neutral cards already. Those are like knives, flashlights. For example, this emergency cache where you get 3 resources for free. A lot of the skill cards that we got, that we use, are like for unexpected cards. For example, this is the one I did not put in, but you get 2 of anything, but you don't get to draw a card. I put the ones where you draw cards, but you know, the ones that we got with where we get extra bonuses to our skill tests, those are neutral. You can put any amount of them in. Now the only neutral ones in core set where you level is Bulletproof Vest and Elder Sign Amulet, and those are both very good cards that I like a lot. I'll bet they're expensive. So the Bulletproof Vest costs 3 XP, and the Elder Sign Amulet costs 3 XP. But the Bulletproof Vest basically is like an ally, but it's a clothing item, so it's not an ally, but he basically, you can put up to 4 damage on him on your vest before your character. And the Elder Sign is the same, going for horror. We can put up to 4 horror on the Elder Sign Amulet instead of your character. So I like having these because they are incredibly useful. Especially for Skids, I would probably get the amulet to get his, to help protect his horror because it's so low, you know. So 4 XP to spend. We could spend 3 on the Elder Sign Amulet, for example. Which means, remember, you have to have a 30 limit, card limit, not counting the ones that are on your deck for free. These are not those. So if we buy this, we have to discard a card from our deck to make room for it. That will leave us with 1 XP left. Now, if you upgrade a character, you could pay the difference. So Beat Cop level 2, the problem with that is, I believe for the upgrade purposes, if we find Beat Cop in here, he's level 1. I mean, he's level 0 is what I meant. So he's got a 0. So if you wanted to buy a level 0 card, you pay 1. But I think if you compare the two, you compare it from 2 to 0. So for this one, it wouldn't be much of a difference. We would pay 2 XP to get Beat Cop, and we could just replace this one with this one instantly, like that, basically. So that kind of takes care of having to take a card out of our deck. We just replace the weaker one with the newer one. But we still need 2 XP to do that, and I don't believe we can do that. Because I think, even though it costs 1 XP to gain a item from when you level up with 0 pips, I think to compare the two isn't represented that this has a 1, or else it'd have a 1 up there. I think you do the difference, it's still 2. I'm not sure on that. I have looked it up a few times in the rules, and I could never really find a definitive answer, so I think this sounds like right to me. So that's what I'm going to go with. So I think we are going to get an Elder Sign Amulet for 3. Which leaves us with the 1 more XP. Now, you don't have to spend it. So we could get extra ammunition, which could be very nice to have. It's an event for 2. We place 3 ammo tokens on a firearm controlled by an investigator location. So if we run out of bullets on any of our guns that we have, we can load them up with 3 more bullets. Very, very good. And we can definitely not get Hot Streak with 4. We could if we didn't get our Elder Sign. This gives us 10 resources, which is pretty amazing. We can't get Sure Gamble. We can get Cat Burglar. And we can get Leo DeLuca. Upgrade the one we have. Now the difference with Leo is the card that we have in the deck costs 6 to bring out. This one costs 5. Everything else is the same. Just cheaper. Or do we go Cat Burglar? You get +1. So I like that we get +1 agility straight up by having this card. It is an ally, though. And Exhaust Cat Burglar, disengage from each enemy engaged with you, and move to a connected location. This action does not provoke attacks of opportunity. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. It works out the rogue aspect of a character as well. You know what? I think we're going to take him. Yeah, we're going to take an Elder Sign and Cat Burglar. Sorry, Leo. Leo's still on our deck. He's just a little more expensive. So I'm going to put these off to the side. Back to whence they came. We're not taking any of these extra cards here. Neutral ones. So because we grabbed 2 new cards, we have to get rid of 2 cards to make room for them. Alright, so we are going to take out Beat Cop, actually. It's kind of the same card in a way. They both take 2 damage and 2 horror. 2 health and 2 horror. They're both allies. This guy's more the rogue, obviously, card. This is the guardian card. This guy's giving us agility instead. This guy can actually give us an extra bonus here. Yeah. So we're going to get rid of a Beat Cop. And he takes off to make room for a Cat Burglar. And then the other one we're going to get rid of is Opportunist to make room for our Elder Sign Amulet. An Opportunist is... it's a decent card, I guess. I mean, you could add... this question mark means that you could... when you add it to a skill check, you can add any attribute for 1. Which isn't that powerful. It's not bad, but because it's any. But it's only 1. And commit only to a skill test you are performing. And if you succeed by 3 or more, which is very rare that I've found so far, return it to your hand instead of discarding it. So basically, if you succeed by 3 or more, you get to keep her in your hand. So you can use her again next, again and again and again. The only way you're ever really going to get by 3 or more, I think she seems like the kind of card that you throw at the end. Like maybe you have a couple of these double cards. Maybe you're doing a perception, intellect check, and you use perception, and now you just kind of throw her on top at the end to add 1 more and hope you get 3 or more so you can put her back in your hand. So we're going to get rid of her. Not a terrible card, I don't think, but not one that I definitely want the Elder Sign Pendant more for that bonus to our horror. So that is it. We won. We have moved on past the Gathering, which means that our next adventure will take us into the Midnight Masks. Now, I do have a new one of the print by demand that they released called The Curse of the Rogaru, which is a really cool quest that I played with my wife once already. And so the way this works, and they just released a new one today that I saw that I'm going to order at the end of the week, called what is it? Was it Carnival of Horror? And so it's another one that you could possibly play. The cool thing about these are you can play it standalone, or you can add it to an already going campaign. So it tells you how to do it. So basically the way that you would do that for the Curse of the Rogaru, to add it to a campaign, you have to spend 1 XP to go like on a side quest off the campaign to do this little extra one, and then you come back to the campaign when you're done. So we didn't have an XP saved here. We could have actually went here next, but I was thinking about going here after the next one. Is kind of the plan. We're gonna do Midnight Masks, and then we may, if we can save an XP after that, we're gonna head out to the Curse of the Rogaru. Just check that one out. Very cool scenario. This one takes you to New Orleans area, and then the of course this first one is Arkham, so that takes you to New Orleans, and the Carnival of Horror takes you to Venice in Italy. That one, so that's pretty cool. So they're already coming up with good scenarios here before even the expansions come out. They're bringing out their own individual one-shot type scenarios that you can add to your campaigns. Very cool. So yeah, Midnight Mask is next. We'll get working on that one soon. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm kind of doing it, one-handed with my phone, actually. I do have a camera, but setting it up is a pain a bit at times, and I just wanted to do this quickly with the phone and show you how it works. Hopefully it's clear enough and you guys could, thought it worked out well. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate you, everybody watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. See you later.